Hello and welcome to the David Institute Premium Masterclass. In today's briefing, we are looking at Elisha's merchandise law. Elisha's merchandise law states that Elisha's wealth-creating principles, when applied to a specific product with the intention of multiplications, in secret under God's guidance, will yield abundance blessing if exchanged continually for an immediate trade value. Story overview, 2 Kings chapter 4 verses 1 to 7. The widow's olive oil. A prophet that Elijah knew as one that feared the Lord died while in debt. His widow and 2 sons could not pay. So, the creditor decided to take the 2 sons as slaves in payment of the debt. When the widow begged for Elisha's help, the Lord miraculously provided them with enough oil to sell and pay off the debt. Background study. The sons who were going to be slaves were asked to go and get oil vessels and to bring an inexhaustible number. Imagine if they knew that after paying the debt they will live off the remainder of the sales. They would have sought to become oil barons by collecting endless oil jars. Lessons on wealth creation. 1. God works with what you have when you obey instructions. 2. Prepare your receptor vessel and acquire a lot in secret. God's servant, Elisha, told the woman to borrow all the empty jars from her neighbors. Recurrent income or repetition of this product marketing process is essential for wealth acquisition. 3. Don't explain your mission until it's complete. Close her doors and began pouring the oil from her jar into the borrowed jars. As she obeyed, the widow saw that God provided enough oil to fill all the jars. 4. Sell, sell, sell. Devise a process of going to the market with your product. Get an avenue to sell, sell, sell. Action plan. Identify the essential use of the product you have in your hand. Here we look at the use of the product oil and its byproduct or things that can be created from it. After the oil miracle production, then, they moved from being slaves to become oil merchant like Solomon. Remember that oil was a precious item in international trade. Solomon had used it as exchange to pay for temple supplies, 2 Chronicles 2 verse 10. And, behold, I will give to thy servants, the hewers that cut timber, 20,000 measures of beaten wheat, and 20,000 measures of barley, and 20,000 baths of wine, and 20,000 baths of oil. 1. Used in cooking, and mixed with flour to make bread. 2. Used as a religious activities, Leviticus 2 verse 4, and if thou bring an oblation of a meat offering bake in the oven, it shall be unleavened cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. As a remedy for stomach distress and as a balm to heal wounds. It was also used as a fuel for lamps in homes. Soldiers often worked oil into the leather shields to keep the shields from becoming brittle. 3. Oil-based perfumes and fragrant ointments are the best. Oil-based myrrh, frankincense, cinnamon sell for as much as 1 laborer's yearly wage. When the widow told Elisha what had happened, he instructed her to sell the oil and pay off her husband's debts. The woman and her sons were then able to live on the money that was left over. Truly, God provided Elisha to be a friend to this family in their time of need. How could Elisha use this system for wealth multiplication strategy for this family of a dead prophet? But could not teach this to the dead prophet when he was alive. Why? It's obvious Elisha applied this wealth-creating principles to his life and knows it works. Hence, we never saw him as an indebted prophet. Jesus used the same strategy to pay his taxes. Elisha learned to constantly link up to the oil pipeline of heaven. If you are, you will never rust. Remember Elisha's merchandise law, which states that Elisha's wealth-creating principles, when applied to a specific product with the intention of multiplications, in secret under God's guidance, will yield abundance blessing if exchanged continually for an immediate trade value. Thanks for listening. For more information, go to www.davidinstitute.org. Story overview, 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 1 to 7. For now there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elisha, saying, Thy servant my husband is dead, and thou knowest that thy servant did fear the Lord, and the creditor is come to take unto him my 2 sons to be bondmen. 2 And Elisha said unto her, What shall I do for thee? Tell me, what hast thou in the house? And she said, Thine handmaid hath not anything in the house, save a pot of oil. 3 Then he said, Go, borrow thee vessels abroad of all thy neighbors, even empty vessels, borrow not a few. 4 And when thou art come in, thou shalt shut the door upon thee and upon thy sons, and shalt pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that which is full. 5 So she went from him, and shut the door upon her and upon her sons, who brought the vessels to her, and she poured out. 6 And it came to pass, when the vessels were full, that she said unto her son, Bring me yet a vessel. And he said unto her, There is not a vessel more. And the oil stayed. 7 Then she came and told the man of God. And he said, Go, sell the oil, and pay thy debt, and live thou and thy children of the rest.